There really is no sport like the NBA, man. Excuse my hair. I just got out of the shower. It's 11:30 Eastern time here on the East Coast. This is shaping up to being one of the best trade deadlines we've ever seen. Last year was amazing, right? Like last year we had Jimmy, Luca, Fox, Ingram. There was so much going on. This year we already had so much. I've already talked to you guys about so many trades, and we just got another big one. Before deadline day even gets to us, the Golden State Warriors have finally traded away Jonathan Kuminga after drafting him 7th overall back in the 2021 NBA draft. They have traded him to the Atlanta Hawks along with Buddy Hield for Kristaps Porzingis. This is the deal that inevitably went down. This is the deal that maybe Golden State wouldn't have loved in the offseason, but here we are now. And I'm sure Golden State wanted to go out and maybe get something different. This might actually eliminate them from the Giannis Antetokounmpo sweepstakes as well, as we still have no idea if Giannis is going to end up getting traded this year at the deadline. Honestly, like the moment I'm recording this late on February 4th, I don't think he does get traded at the deadline, but you never know. Kuminga would have been a valuable asset in that Giannis Antetokounmpo trade. I don't think Kristaps Porzingis would be a valuable asset in that deal given his expired contract. At least Kuminga had a team option for next year. Atlanta basically gets Kristaps Porzingis for the 22nd overall pick, and then they flip it for Jonathan Kuminga. I'm not really sure what Atlanta is trying to do as I'm recording this, and the Golden State Warriors have also traded away Trace Jackson-Davis to the Raptors for a 2026 second rounder via the Lakers. So the Warriors just woke up. I think they saw Anthony Davis get traded. They saw James Harden get traded. They saw all these guys get traded today, and they're like, maybe we should actually make some moves. So the Atlanta Hawks send out Kristaps Porzingis. We'll talk about this for the Golden State Warriors side of things first. They're 27-24. They have lost their second best player for the season in Jimmy Butler, who tore his ACL. This is going to be probably the most interesting centerpiece that Steph has ever played with. If Kristaps Porzingis can stay healthy, we say this every time, him and Steph could be lethal. I was so excited about Kristaps Porzingis and Trae Young going into the season, and we never really got to see them healthy together whatsoever. Now Trae Young is in Washington with Anthony Davis, I think a player that the Atlanta Hawks were trying to get, but maybe the price tag was too high for them. But Golden State now gets Kristaps Porzingis, who could be the 7-foot floor spacer, who could be a solid rim protector for them, but he's only played 17 games this year, and he's currently dealing with an illness. He's dealt with lower body issues as well, and you got to be a little bit cautious about Kristaps Porzingis. You can't really have him with a high minutes workload, and Golden State might need a lot out of Kristaps Porzingis as well, given that they're 27-24 with no Jimmy Butler. Maybe this means there would actually be a Draymond Green trade coming soon. I don't really know, because Draymond Green, it felt like the first time maybe in forever, has actually been tradable with Golden State right now. Kristaps this year has been averaging 17 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists with the Atlanta Hawks. He's shooting 45% from the field, 36% from 3, and 84% from the free throw line. It's an upgrade. It's 100% an upgrade for the Golden State Warriors if they can get Kristaps Porzingis to stay healthy, because you can have Steph Curry with one of the combo guards they have in the backcourt, right? It could be Brennan Pojemski. It could be DeAnthony Melton. They could play the hot hand. And then you also have Moses Moody, who's been a good wing for them this year. You're still going to have Draymond Green at the 4 and Kristaps Porzingis at the 5. That is a lethal front court defensive duo if they could stay healthy. If Draymond Green's not going to foul out, or Draymond Green is not going to pick up too many technicals, that can actually provide a mismatch for the Golden State Warriors on both ends of the floor. With Steph Curry doing Steph Curry things, it kind of sucks, because I would have loved this idea for them if Jimmy Butler didn't get hurt as well. And I think that could have been not maybe the missing piece to make them a little bit more formidable in the Western Conference. And it's really just trying to give Steph something this year. Kristaps, like I said, could be a free agent at the end of the year. Kristaps Porzingis is also about 30 years old as well. He was in that 2015 draft class. And over the last few years, here's the amount of games Kristaps Porzingis have played. 57 games with the Celtics in 24 when they won it all. 42 games in 2025. And like I said, 17 games this year in 24 minutes a night. Actually, the lowest minutes per game he has played in his whole career. He's shooting 36% from 3. And the 30-year-old can be a free agent at the end of the year. So the Warriors could look to re-sign him. They can have Kristaps with Jimmy Butler next year and Steph Curry. Maybe there could be a sign and trade with Kristaps Porzingis going to Milwaukee. And who knows, maybe it's Giannis Antetokounmpo actually going to the Golden State Warriors. And the Kuminga era ends here. So for Golden State, if Kristaps Porzingis, so the Warriors have 31 games left. If Kristaps Porzingis can play 25 of those, yeah, I would give them a high letter grade, because I do think Kristaps is a better player for the Golden State Warriors than Jonathan Kuminga is. in this system, and he can get such good looks around Steph Curry with DHOs, pick and pops. Honestly, the screen setting that Kristaps can provide for Steph, and Kristaps is also not a bad passer either. They can have a really nice two-man game. But once again, we've said this in Dallas with Luka Doncic. We said this in Boston if Kristaps can ever stay healthy, and we've said this in Atlanta as well if he could stay healthy. So the same story is going to be here in Golden State. Can Kristaps Porzingis stay healthy? Because if so, this could be the best center that Steph Curry's ever played with. But if he can't stay healthy, then it's not really going to provide them too much value in the second half, and you're going to lose Kuminga and Buddy Hield for somebody that's not even going to be in your lineup. And they just traded away Trace Jackson Jr. So if Kristaps is out, it's a whole lot of quit and post. It's a whole lot of Al Horford. It's maybe Draymond at the 5 if he's out there as well. As, yeah, this solidifies the end of the Jonathan Kuminga era in Golden State. He gets to go to a new team. I don't know if he's really going to get that many offensive opportunities, like more in Atlanta than he was currently getting in Golden State, since they have Jalen Johnson, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Zachary Resache, Dyson Daniels. There's a lot of wings now in Atlanta going forward. Corey Kispert as well, who they got in the Trae Young trade, as Kuminga has a $22 million team option at the end of the year. I assume Atlanta is going to pick that up. And Kuminga is only 23 years old. Kuminga could still be a good defender out there. It's not a great comparison right now for what I'm about to say, but this team is reminding me a little bit of the New Orleans Pelicans in a way, where they have a lot of talent, but can this team really play together out there? Can Dyson Daniels be a 1? Can they be a good enough three-point shooting team? Now it's Mohamed Gay, Christian Koloko, Onyeka Okongwu, Asa Newell at the 5 spot, basically just saying that we traded away the 22nd overall pick for Kristaps Porzingis, who we then flipped to Jonathan Kuminga. And in the Eastern Conference, anything can happen, and maybe they end up rerouting Jonathan Kuminga. Maybe Kuminga really doesn't like it in Atlanta over the second half of the year. They end up picking up the team option at $24.3 million, and then Kuminga gets traded in the offseason again, but it's no longer the Warriors' issue. And this just feels like a weird trade. It just felt like both teams wanted to just change their identity, at least move on from a piece, and two guys get a change of scenery. I'm more excited about Kristaps in Golden State, at least the theory of it, than I am about Jonathan Kuminga in Atlanta under Quinn Snyder. I'm not sure what type of turnover they're going to have. Like, is Quinn Snyder going to be coaching this team next year? And who is going to be kind of the man at the helm for the Atlanta Hawks, who have been a little bit disappointing this year? They're 25-27 in a weaker Eastern Conference. They're still maybe looking for that point guard, and they have the New Orleans Pelicans and Bucks swap, so maybe that's going to be Darren Peterson next year. Who knows? And now they're just going to have a ton of switchable wings. I don't know if we're going to see another Hawks trade from this. Like, they're obviously not moving Jalen Johnson or Nickeil Alexander-Walker. They already moved Vic Krejci, so maybe this was like the precursor of that. Are they going to trade away Zachary Resache? Probably not. If they weren't going to do it for Anthony Davis, I don't think there's a big out there they would do this for. I don't know if Jonathan Kuminga is getting rerouted to Milwaukee and Milwaukee's sending Giannis to Atlanta. Probably not to that as well. But this just adds another interesting trade wrinkle at the 2026 deadline that we're going to look back on in a year from now or at the end of the season and just kind of think about like what these teams were doing. Like, we saw so many guys get traded today. We saw Kobe White get traded today. We saw Anthony Davis, Jared McCain get traded today as well. Tyus Jones. We saw a plethora of moves here, and we're not even at the deadline yet. The deadline is still tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern. I'm actually going to be live over on Bleacher Report's YouTube channel with 3Cone, Jake Fisher, and Mark Stein, the insiders themselves, talking everything trade deadline leading up to the final hour, 12:30 Eastern time to 3:30 Eastern time. Would love to see you guys there. Maybe show support to me in the stream as well. Thank you to everybody that came out to today's stream as well. We had a great time, and like always, would love to know your guys' thoughts and opinions on this trade we just saw between the Golden State Warriors and the Atlanta Hawks, Jonathan Kuminga and Buddy Hield for Kristaps Porzingis. Let me know in the comments below. Drop a thumbs up if you guys did enjoy, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.